Joined by Delaware head coach Monte Ross to his left is Devon Sadler, to his right, Juwan Carter. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Ross and then take some questions. Raise your hand. We'll bring the microphone around.
Well, I was very obviously pleased to win the ball game, and I think the manner in which we won it on that last possession with it seemed like it was like about 20 guys diving on the floor for the ball. But I think that's appropriate for the way both teams play. You have to give Billy and Northeastern a lot of credit for their game plan against us. I thought it was very good, and I thought that our guys responded appropriately, and I thought that these guys really grinded it out. And for us defensively, I thought we were pretty good on defense tonight, and we know that we give ourselves a chance every night that our defense was there. So extremely, extremely happy to be advancing, and time's yours.
Monte, 51.2% from the field for you guys, and two huge clutch back-to-back three-pointers from Brian and Devon. Could you talk about those?
Well, I think that first one that Brian Johnson hit, gosh, it's a shame. I can remember every play from every game for the last 15 years, and for some reason I cannot remember that play. But it was a big shot. It was a big shot. And the other thing, I know I clearly remember the one that Devon hit because it was off of a fast break, and we kicked it out to him. And I tell you what Devon has done here lately in terms of improving his shooting, to the fact that we played somebody a couple of weeks ago, and every time he touched the ball, they were yelling, shooter, 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 was tremendous. But in order to win big games like this in the tournament, you have to have guys step up and make big shots, and Brian Johnson's was a huge shot. Devon's was a huge shot to put us up 3, to give us just a little bit of breathing room for at least 30 seconds, I think it was. And I thought the other thing was the way that Juwan started off the game was very, very important for us. We needed him to sort of like calm us down a little bit, and with him getting off to such a hot start, I thought it did just that. It calmed everybody else down, and we were able to sort of get into a flow from there. Oh, yes. No, yeah, it did. And I think Juwan was the one who kicked it to him. And, yeah, that was a huge shot. And, the thing about Brian is he's too unselfish at times. We've been telling him for 4 years, actually for 5 years now, to be aggressive. And you have to really, because he's such a good shooter. And I was glad he was aggressive on that shot. Well, he didn't have any other choice with the shot clock where it was, so.
You got to be happy for Brian, just considering all he's been through past year with the injuries. And then it looked like even you drew up a play for him, I think, to get that layup, to get to.
Absolutely, I drew that up. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, what happens is in situations like this, seniors seem to have a knack for stepping up. And I thought our seniors tonight, Juwan, Brian, and DJ Boney, I thought they were terrific. And, it just shows that innermost of, I don't want to go home. I want to keep playing. I want to extend this thing. I'm enjoying it. And I told our seniors we had some really good things that have happened to us in practice along the way. Like one time, you're to the point in the year where you can't practice for 2 hours anymore. So we cut one of our practices down to 45 minutes. And Devon will dispute that because he thinks anytime I say we're going to practice for 45 minutes, we always go for an hour and 45. But that's not true. It's not true. But, we had 2 seniors that were complaining one time when I cut practice to 45 minutes. And I think that's that good feeling of, look, we enjoy this. We like what we're doing. We want to keep doing it. And I think that showed tonight in the ballgame.
Devon, could you walk us through that three-point shot?
I seen Juwan driving, so I was just setting my feet, and I was just preparing to shoot the three. I mean, I knew he was going to kick it out because he jump stopped, so I was just setting my feet, ready to shoot the ball.
Hey, Juwan, could you just talk about making the passes on those 2 3-pointers? I mean, you're a guy who obviously is known for your shot, but you made 2 huge assists right there. I mean, the shot clock's ticking down. Everybody in the whole place was probably thinking when you made that pass to Brian, you were going to shoot it yourself.
Yeah. In both situations, both guys were really wide open. And, Brian had been shooting the ball well throughout the game, and Devon had been shooting the ball well, throughout the season pretty much. And, with the game going the way it was just, almost like tug of war. When you got a situation to get guys to kind of put you up 3, going up 3 in this game was kind of a big thing. And in both situations, we went up 3. And, I think those were big shots and, key points in the game for us.
Juwan, what's it mean to you to get a tournament win in your senior year tonight?
It's big because, personally I haven't played as well as I have liked to kind of to be productive, to put us in position to get wins down here. And for us to come out and get our first win, it leaves us with a lot of confidence going into tomorrow. The jitters are out. We have a feel for the court. It's big.
Did that ball give you some trouble on those free throws? That
that
dreaded Spalding ball.
Oh man, it's easy to shoot free throws when it's 10 minutes left in the first half or 4 minutes left in the first half. But I have been shooting the ball well from the free throw line. If you would have told me before we got down here that I'd have been on the free throw line with a chance for us to win the game, I would have been excited. I wouldn't change the situation for anything. If we get in the same situation tomorrow, I look forward to it. But this time, the percentages, it didn't work out, but we won. Definitely.
We were going to make him walk home if we had lost.
Monte, you talked a little bit about Brian earlier. What kind of player is he now as compared to what he used to be before the injuries?
He's a shell of himself, to be honest with you. But that has not stopped him from being a leader on the court, being a leader on the sidelines. And, one of the things with Brian is, and it takes a while to really come back from the injury that he had, the 2 injuries. And what he has done is he gives us a lift. He gives us a lift. And there are some games where you have to ride him. And I don't know how many minutes did he, 30 minutes. That might be the highest total that he's had all year. But the assistant said to me, that he just has a look in his eye that, you couldn't take him out the game. And, he's always had the knack for hitting big shots for us. And, it was no different tonight. He's just he brings so much more than what the stat sheet will ever show you, just in terms of, I think one of the biggest things that he's been able to do is really, I don't know if nurture is the right word, maybe mentor Devon, just in terms of, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but Devon is a little fiery out there on the court. He shows some passion sometimes. And Brian is a calming influence for him. He's a guy that Devon looks to sort of settle things down, and that's what older players do. And the thing about it is that's the position Devon will be in next year. Mentoring and nurturing and telling people to calm down and getting them back to where we need to do what we need to do to execute whatever it is the next play is. So that's what Brian does for us every time.
Hey, Devon, what was it like to play in your first conference tournament game? I mean, how did it feel different with the stakes higher and, if you lose, you go home? I mean, how did that feel and what does it mean to you to come out of it with such a heart-stopping victory?
I mean, it was big. When I first got on the court, I was like, I had a little jitters in me, and the first half, I was turning the ball over, so Brian talked to me at halftime and told me to get the jitters out, and then after that, it was just time to go to war, and we came back, and then we was just going to war back-to-back after that, so it was big, though. I really enjoyed this victory.
How badly did you want that ball when it was bouncing around on the court on that last possession?
I wanted it bad. I was diving, jumping on everybody. I was trying to get the win any way possible.
Juwan, if you could just talk about the mindset that you, Brian, DJ have, because it looked like the way you came out really shows what conference tournament means to a senior.
It comes to a point sometimes where, your time clock kind of starts to tick a little faster. And, you start to realize that, it's now or never. Everything that, you've maybe been through individually or, maybe the season didn't go how you have wanted it to. It really doesn't matter. All the stressing about, whether I'm going to get this much playing time, I'm going to get this assignment or whatever it may be. It's out the door. It's just, giving whatever it is that you have and being able to walk out at the end of the day and say, I gave it my all. And I think, throughout the game, I think each of us stepped up in key situations, whether it was DJ hitting a big three, Brian, getting a big drive at the end. I think, this is what we need for us to be successful. And, we had it tonight.
All right. Thanks, guys.